Bleeding Critic, and I'm going to be talking about Uwe Boll's film Seed, which was released in 2007. The version I'm referring to is the Black Edition uncut version. This is a difficult film to talk about because there are some moments that are worth your time and many moments that seem to belong in a B-movie that's been produced for awful late-night television. Genres are mixed, so you end up with a film that results in 25% extreme cinema and 65% forgettable pap. The beginning focuses on an evil character who doesn't die after an attempted execution by electric chair. Now, this idea was ripped from the excellent Shocker, which was made in 1989 by Wes Craven. At the very start of Seed, you'll witness real footage of horrific animal cruelty, which seems very out of place and was obviously just stitched on at the beginning to gather controversial interest. The people behind the story have justified it in some articles I've read, and the reasons for using this footage are too thin and flimsy for my understanding. It's absolute bollocks. Nasty, controversial marketing, that's all it is. Uwe Boll got this upsetting footage from the animal rights organisation PETA, which stands for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, and he promised to give them 2.5% of the film's profits. Whatever. The killer, known as Max Seed, likes to film trapped individuals and animals in his cellar and films them dying. The killer escapes after his failed execution, and the police investigate ad lib to fade. You can guess the rest. Now, the one scene in this film that stayed with me was so extreme. It's really strange. It's a scene that should be included in a much better film, and I'll tell you about this brief scene because I think it's the only part, if you appreciate brave and extreme cinema, that will show you something I personally haven't seen before. So turn off now if you don't want to know. A mature woman is strapped to a chair, and a man has a hammer and teases her face with the hammer, gently at first, and then continues to slowly bash her skull until it literally caves in. The camera does not move throughout the entire scene, apart from zooming towards the carnage slightly to hit home every hammer impact. It's horrific and brutal and totally out of place, just like the added on animal abuse at the film's beginning. The feeling you get with this film is like watching an episode of a television soap that has a gentle, innocent romantic scene taking place, and then suddenly it twists into violent, hardcore porn. It's that bizarre. I hope I've not misfired about this film, but it's been difficult to get excited about, and I did regret buying the Blu-ray after watching it. Seed's not an important piece of work. It's a load of ideas and influences put together with bad creative judgment. In all eventualities, please be careful when you make a choice to view or not. I must warn you, there are other extreme scenes in this film that are very hard to take because they're so upsetting. Seriously upsetting. So for Christ's sake, stay well clear if you are a parent with a young child or baby. I do think when watching some films you've got to be in the right mood, and I remember watching De Niro in the epic film The Mission when it was released in 1986 at the cinema, and I thought it was boring. Then some years later I watched it again and was crying like a baby. I loved it and appreciated it the second time around. Well, that's not going to happen with Seed because I'm not going to watch it again. Thanks for watching my review of Uwe Boll's film Seed. I'll see you soon.